Hi dear students, welcome to Geeta's classes. So now we are going to see another interesting topic, beta and gamma functions. So in this, first let us see some applications of beta and gamma functions. So it is found in research that beta function describes many properties of nuclear force, strong nuclear force. So it is describing many properties. And in probability theory, beta function is used in preferential attachment process, which is a part of stochastic process, which you are going to study in the next semester, computer oriented statistical method, COSM paper, it will be there. And gamma function is used in gamma distribution, which is used to determine time based occurrences such as lifespan of electronic components, etc. This is again, gamma distribution is also there in your COSM paper, which we will study in detail. Okay. And it is also used to evaluate some standard integrals like 0 to pi by 2, integral 0 to pi by 2, sine per m theta, cos per n theta, d theta, and integral 0 to pi by 2, sine per m alone, sine per m theta, d theta, or cos per n theta, d theta, and so on. Okay, so now let us see the definition of beta function. It is defined as, this is the notation, beta of m comma n is equal to integral 0 to 1 x per m minus 1 into 1 minus x the whole per n minus 1 dx, where m is greater than 0 and n is also greater than 0. Let us take this as equation number 1. We are going to see various forms of this beta function. This you have to memorize. Beta of m comma n is equal to integral 0 to 1 x per m minus 1 into 1 minus x the whole per n minus 1 dx. Okay. So first let us prove that property that beta of m comma n is equal to beta of n comma m. And please remember, this is a very interesting topic. Only thing is, you should know the substitution, proper substitution. If you know, it is going to be very easy. Okay. So in equation number 1, we are going to substitute, put x is equal to 1 minus y in equation number 1. So what will you get? Actually, we are going to change x to y by the substitution x is equal to 1 minus y. So immediately what else you have to find out? Another 3 things you have to find out. Dx is minus dy. When x is equal to 0, y is equal to what? Y is equal to 1 minus x, right? So it is y is equal to 1. When x is equal to 1, the upper limit is when x is equal to 1, y is equal to 1 minus 1, 0. Therefore, 1 becomes, these are the substitutions, replacements you have to make. Okay. So beta of m comma n is equal to integral 1 to 0. Now we are changing from x to y, right? So the change limits are 1 to 0. Then in the place of x you have to write 1 minus y the whole per m minus 1 into x. 1 minus x is what? Y, right? So y per n minus 1 into minus dy, right? Dx is minus dy. So this is equal to, this minus I am going to take it outside, and integral 0 to 1. Actually you can write integral minus a to b can be written as integral b to a. Okay. When you are changing these limits, you can take the negation. So integral 0 to 1, because it is minus, I am taking it out and changing the limits. Okay. Minus of 1 to 0, it becomes 0 to 1. Y per n minus 1 into 1 minus y the whole per m minus 1 into dy. Okay. What is this? By definition, in the place of x, because it is definite integral, after integrating this, we are going to substitute the limit. So after integrating this function, you will not have x at all. Okay. So whether you write x here or any other variable y here, it doesn't matter. So I can represent this as beta of n comma m. You can write this as x per n minus 1 into 1 minus x the whole per m minus also, it doesn't matter. It is a dummy variable here. Okay, so we have proved that beta of m comma n is equal to beta of n comma m. This is a property of beta functions. Okay. So next is beta function in trigonometric form. Another form, that's what I told you, various forms we are going to find out. So beta function in terms of trigonometric functions. Trigonometric functions. Beta function in terms of trigonometric functions. So what is our beta of m comma n is equal to integral 0 to 1. You have to remember this, x power m minus 1 first variable into 1 minus x the whole power n minus 1 into dx. Now you have to make the substitution, put x is equal to, I am going to express this in terms of trigonometric function. So put x is equal to sine squared theta. So what will be our dx? 2 into sine theta, then differentiate this, so cos theta d theta, right? Dx is equal to this. When x is equal, now limits, when x is equal to 0, sine theta is equal to 0, therefore theta is equal to 0. When x is equal to 1, theta is equal to sine square theta is 1, that is sine theta is equal to 1, so theta is equal to pi by 2. Because we know sine 90 is pi by 2, so 0 to pi by 2 is the new limit. Therefore, beta of m comma n is equal to integral 0 to pi by 2. Now in the place of x, what is the substitution I have made? Sine squared theta the whole power m minus 1, right? Into 1 minus sine squared theta the whole power n minus 1 into dx is what? 2 sine theta cos theta d theta. So this is equal to integral 0 to pi by 2. See, sine power 2m minus 2 a power m, the whole power n is a power m into n. So here 2 into m minus 1. And here we have one more 1, right? So plus 1. That is 2m minus 2 plus 1. That is 2m minus 1, right? Similarly, what is 1 minus sine squared? It is cos squared, right? So sine power 2m minus 1 theta into cos power 2n minus 1 theta. Here I have cos squared theta the whole power n minus 1 and one more cos theta here. Okay. So it becomes cos power 2n minus theta into d theta. Okay. So this is also called, this function is also called, this is in the trigonometric form. Beta function in trigonometric form. So this function is also called, another name for this is Euler's integral of first kind. Another name for this is Euler's integral of first kind. Okay. Next we are going to see the definition of gamma function. Gamma function. The definition is, again here you have to remember this, you have to by heart this, no other go. Gamma function. And it is denoted by this symbol. This is gamma of n is equal to integral 0 to infinity e power minus x into x power n minus 1 dx, where n is greater than 0. Actually limits also you have to remember for beta of m comma n. I'll write here if you want. Beta of m comma n is equal to integral 0 to 1 x power m minus 1 into 1 minus x the whole power n minus 1 into dx. This is our beta function 0 to 1. Here it is integral 0 to infinity e power minus x into x power n minus 1 dx, where n is greater than 0. Okay. So this is also called, this function is also called Euler's integral of second kind. This is also called Euler's integral of second kind. Euler's integral of second kind. The first one is this one. This is beta function. Okay. And now it defines a function for all positive. This is an important note. it defines, this gamma function defines, you cannot define for negative values, okay. So it defines a function of n for positive values of n. For positive values of n. This is important. So what is our gamma of 1? These are all standard values you should know. What will be our gamma of 1? Integral 0 to infinity e power minus x power 1 minus 1 into dx, right? X power 0. So this will become integral 0 to infinity e power minus x dx. That is e power minus x by minus 1 from 0 to infinity. I am taking this minus outside. So e power minus infinity minus e power 0. That is minus of 0 minus 1. E power minus infinity is 0. So minus of minus 1, 1. Therefore, gamma of 1 is equal to 1. This is an important result. This is a standard value. Okay. Next is reduction formula for gamma of n. Reduction formula for gamma of n. Anything can be asked in the exam. So you have to study all these things. Okay. So gamma of, let us consider gamma of n plus 1 is equal to integral. Gamma of n means in e power x power n minus 1. Here n plus 1. Gamma of n plus 1 is integral 0 to infinity e power minus x power. Here if you have n, it should be n minus 1. Now it is n plus 1 minus 1. So it will become x power n. Okay. So gamma of n plus 1 is integral 0 to infinity e power minus x power n into dx. So using this integral minus of x power n into e power minus x. Suppose if you have integral first function into second function into dx, then I can write it as first function into integral of second function into dx minus integral of differential of first function into integral of second function into dx, right? This is the formula for integration. Now, I am going to apply this. I am going to take x power n as the first function, e power minus x as the second function. So, x power n I am writing as it is, e power minus x divided by n, okay, from 0 to infinity, minus integral 0 to infinity. Now I am going to differentiate x power n. So n into x power n minus 1, because n is independent of x, I am writing it outside, into whatever you have written here, you write here. So thus minus and minus will become plus. So e power minus x, right, into dx. So this is equal to, now when you apply infinity, it will become 0. Even if you apply 0, it will become 0. So it is 0. First term is 0. Plus n into, what is this one? Integral 0 to infinity e power minus x power n minus 1 dx. By definition is, what is this? N into integral of, n into gamma of n, right? This integral 0 to infinity x power n minus 1 dx is gamma of n. So we have started with gamma of n plus 1 and we have written n into gamma of n. So this is called the reduction formula. Here. Therefore, gamma of n plus 1 is equal to n into gamma of n, which is called the reduction formula. This is called reduction formula of gamma of n. Reduction formula for gamma of n. So, if you want to find out gamma of n, what will be the formula? The previous value, that is n minus 1 into gamma of n minus 1. Okay, this is a very useful formula for evaluating the other integrals and all. So value of gamma of n, next is value of gamma of n in terms of factorial. In terms of factorial, we are going to use this reduction formula only for that. Value of gamma of n in terms of factorial. So using the formula, we know that using the reduction formula, even all the proofs are important. using the reduction for what is our reduction formula? Gamma of n plus 1 is equal to n into gamma of n. Using this we can write it as what is gamma of 2? How will you write this? The previous value 1 into gamma of 1, that is 1. Gamma of 1 is 1 we know, so it is 1 factorial I am going to write. Gamma of 3 is 2 into gamma of 1. Sorry, gamma of 2. Whatever you are writing here you have to write. Gamma of 2 just now we have found it as 1 factorial. Therefore, this will become 2 factorial. What is gamma of 4? 3 into gamma of 3. Gamma of 3 is what? 2 factorial. So, 3 into 2 factorial, it will become 3 factorial. Right? So, like this if you keep on writing, then what can you write? Gamma of n plus 1 is equal to, see, observe here, gamma of 2 is 1 factorial. Gamma of 3 is 2 factorial. Gamma of 4 is 3 factorial and so on. So, in general, what can you write? Gamma of n plus 1 is n factorial. Okay. Provided n is a positive integer. N is a positive integer. Right. So, if you take n is equal to 0, taking n is equal to 0, it defines gamma of 1 is equal to, n is equal to 0 means this will become, so this is 0 factorial, which is 1. This is another proof for gamma of 1 is equal to 1. Another way to prove that gamma of 1 is equal to 1. Okay. So next, in the next class, we will see some problems and relation between gamma and beta and gamma functions and so on. Okay. Thank you so much for listening.